1:30, which was about half an hour ago now. After the meeting, the Ukrainian commander came out and said, well, we knew already, of course, they'd asked them to put their arms down and leave the base. He said, will not surrender. But he also said the Russians had asked them to not point their tank at the Russian troops. And since then, they do seem to have lifted the barrel of the tank, so it's no longer pointing at them. But if I look at the hillsides around here, there are Russian troops up in some of the, you can see them up in some of the sort of meadows surrounding here. And there are, as I say, 1,000 Russian troops outside, and something like 1,000 Ukrainians inside. It's also interesting, of course, that you might think maybe the Ukrainians would feel
trying to get out of it.
because the Russians are obviously here with all
fair job,
of
isn't it?
equipment, lots of weapons, and the Ukrainians said to us, we're not fearful at all because we think we've got more than they.
Hey, Daisy!
Can you hear me okay?
What are you doing?
Yes, well, I say you just lost the line for a moment there, but...
Daisy, what are you doing?
Tell you one other thing whilst we're here. There's the Ukrainian priest outside here who has been very vociferous, has been shouting at the Russians to go home and saying, why are you occupying our land? This is an illegal occupation. There are other people who ran across and tried to prevent the Ukrainian priest from doing his shouting. There's been some pushing around. There's been a lot of violent words between various groups of people here. But it's a standard point that it's difficult to see how this will resolve itself when we have two sides that are so entrenched in their position.
I'm doing a little video of her.
From where I'm standing and not going to go home, obviously, the Ukrainians are not going to surrender. So they need to find something they can both agree on at the moment. It looks like the two military commanders may well have another meeting later in the day, but at the moment it's unresolved. And I wouldn't say it's phenomenally tense, but it's tense because you feel as if anybody does one thing out of step, there's enough people here for it to become volatile fairly quickly, I would think.
And as you're saying, yes, Paul, of course, the fact that there are these pro-Russian and apparently pro-Ukrainian crowds outside the base, presumably adding to the tensions there. So thanks very much for bringing us up to date there from Ivan there. But we're just going to cross now to Sevastopol, another key region, a key point in the Crimean Peninsula, where we can speak now to Christian Fraser, my colleague there. Christian, is there a similar theme?
Does that mean she's scared?
No, it's alert.
You
know, she's
twice as big as I thought she was going to be.
Yeah.
She's not going to fit in there.
It's not.
I don't think so. She might. Might need to get something else to go on top of that. Just replace that. You just take this away. Like a bigger house on top. But one that can hold, you know. Or like I say, she might just make her house underneath it. She's filling up, isn't she? Did you get a nice picture? Text it to me, I'll text it.
Yeah.
And I said to him, what's going on in there? And he said, well, it's very, very strange. We're in a situation where we are hostages amid the political crisis. And I said, are you worried about your men? And he said, yes, I'm worried. And as he left and got into a car and drove away, a crowd of Russian soldiers came out of the base in a fairly hostile sort of way, chanted. There was lots of support from the crowd that was there. They came out with a crowbar and they started opening a storeroom next to the main reception area, and then they went off around the base to look for other storerooms. So there's clearly now tension that is being ratcheted up between local Ukrainian forces and the Russians who are securing as many of these strategic points as they can.
Security question, the tiniest thing could spark off any kind of action, any kind of violence there, which theoretically then would give Russia perhaps the pretext it's looking for to deploy troops in the Crimea. That's certainly the way it's being seen here in Kiev. Is that how you're seeing it on the ground in the Crimea?
Yeah, I think so. I think in various flashpoints now around the Crimean Peninsula, the Ukrainian forces are starting to react. Of course, there's been a lot of confusion over the past 24, 48 hours as the Ukrainian defense minister is trying to grapple hold of the situation and hang on to whatever he can. And it would seem to me, and I'm surmising here, but it would seem to me that orders have come from take a stand against this Russian program of trying to surround all the bases. I think it's a very difficult situation for the Ukrainians because obviously they look to their Russian brothers. They don't want to get into a fight with their Russian counterparts, but they're at the moment trying to answer to three different masters. The Russians who are on the bases, who are around the bases, the local authority and the new Prime Minister here in Crimea who looks to Russia and asks President Putin for help. And then on the other side, the Ukrainian Defence Minister who's probably on the telephone saying, do whatever you can. So you can see their dilemma. It's a very difficult situation for them. I think the one thing that we're seeing today is the first sign of confrontation, and that will be of huge concern to those NATO ambassadors in Brussels who are trying to keep a lid on the situation. They won't want some sort of escalation that could really end up in a very bad way.
Okay, Christian Fraser, Sebastopol. Now, thanks very much. And obviously here in Ukraine, that's the situation that the politicians here have been talking about in Kiev, in the capital, saying that they're determined that they won't be, as they put it, the first ones to act to escalate the situation, but that they will respond to what they're calling any acts of provocation. So incredibly complicated and tense the situation at the moment. But critical to all of this is, of course, the stance of Russia. So we can go over now to my colleague Richard Galpin, who's in Moscow. Richard, from here in Kiev, the calls are coming again and again for Russian troops to return to their bases, to go back to the terms of their agreement for having that naval base there, the Black Sea Fleet in Sebastopol, and to de-escalate the tension. That's the phrase that's being used here. Can you see any sign that realistically is going to be what Moscow's next step would be?
Absolutely not, Sarah, no. I mean, all the signals we're getting from the Kremlin here, particularly the statement put out by the Kremlin after that 90-minute phone call between President Putin and Barack Obama, is that Russia is absolutely sticking to its position, that it is determined to defend what it calls its interests inside Ukraine and defend the Russian-speaking people and Russian citizens in Ukraine. And Mr. Putin said there was a threat to those interests and to those people. And he said specifically that if those threats of violence, he talked about it, spread to the east of Ukraine and to the Crimea, he's meaning obviously violence, he claims, against Russian-speaking people, then he will then clearly activate the right he has to deploy troops across the country, or certainly in eastern Ukraine. You know, but saying that what's kind of odd about this is that all the moves at the moment, we're not seeing attacks on the Russian-speaking population in Ukraine at all. What we're seeing the moves at the moment are clearly an occupation by Russian troops of the Crimea with their local pro-Russian allies, and then also at the same time we're seeing pro-Russian troops in eastern Ukraine storming buildings, trying to reverse the revolution.
Richard, just quickly, can you see any points of political pressure that the international community could bring to bear on Russia at this point? Because that's a lot of calls coming from here, Bob, for the international community to use whatever force of persuasion or otherwise that they have with Russia to prevent this situation escalating. What could that possibly be?
Get the lad out sleeping.
By different political leaders, but the immediate one is that they will boycott the G8 meeting in Sochi, which is due to take place in a few months. There are others talking for some kind of economic sanctions potentially against officials in Russia, but it's all up in the air. Nothing, it seems, at the moment has been decided. It seems to be simply that there's lots of emergency meetings taking place, the UN, EU, NATO, and we have to wait and see what actually concrete is decided.
Richard Galpin in Moscow, thanks very much.
Daisy, go on there.
Go over to Brussels now, where NATO
Hey.
colleagues there and find out what the latest is. Morris is in Brussels, so what's being said there in Brussels?
She won.
Here in Ukraine, it's obviously deteriorating very rapidly.
You can do it.
I think internationally, the idea at the moment is to put as much pressure on Russia as possible. Whether that will work, of course, is another matter. But the same message coming from national leaders such as President Obama, but also from international organisations such as the United Nations and NATO, that there are consequences, that this cannot stand unanswered entirely. What's happening here in Brussels this afternoon is that NATO ambassadors are meeting at the request of the Ukrainian government. The meeting is just starting now.
Gosh, come back up in there.
Secretary General Rasmussen spoke to journalists on his way into the meeting. Quite striking language, saying that what Russia's doing in Ukraine at the moment is a clear threat to peace and security in Europe.
I have convened the North Atlantic Council today because of Russia's military action in Ukraine and because of President Putin's threats against this sovereign nation. What Russia is doing now in Ukraine violates the principles of the United Nations Charter. It threatens peace and security in Europe. Russia must stop its military activities and its threats.
Strong words there from NATO Secretary General Chris Morris in Brussels now. Thank you very much. We've heard strong words here in Kiev as well from the politicians here. The Prime Minister saying